Hi, guys. Just like to welcome you to our new podcast, Born Here, Built Here. My name is Dan Raymond. I will be the host of the show. We're going to be talking about various things such as time, how quickly it goes by, tools, the new tools that are out there, and the trades, how the trades don't receive enough recognition, which I think they do deserve a lot. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. At Boss, we have a manifesto. We're not just tool makers, we're time liberators. Consider us the intersection of efficiency and innovation. Our mission here is simple. We build new age tools that allow you to work smarter, not harder, because in life, every minute counts. Every tool we make is purpose-built to flip the script. We should all work to live, not live to work. Why? Because we believe in the American dream. We believe in the American worker, and we believe in America the idea. Build a better future faster with Boss. Made in America is a concept that I am 100%, 1,000% committed to. I guess on the negative side, I don't understand how come somebody that lives within the United States of America would buy something that was made in another country unless you can't find it here in the States. When you purchase something that's made in the United States of America, primarily all of the money stays here. That is money that's spent on vehicles, is spent on building new structures. It's keeping possibly your neighbor down the road having the ability for them to continue to buy groceries. The American worker is a phenomenal beast. We can do everything here in the United States of America that they can do in any other country. Americans are the best people. I'm unapologetic for who I am. I'm an American. And I think you should be that way too. I don't ever want to take a second seat to anybody or apologize for being part of the American population. What do I hope to bring people with this podcast? I want to champion the cause of the trades. I want to show people not only maybe a glimpse of what Boss, what my personal life and Boss, a tool is, but I want to show people what the trades can do for them. We visit high school VOTEC centers at this time, and I make a point to tell the kids there, you may not pursue the trades as a vocation, but what you learn by being in the school systems as far as masonry work, framing, trim work, electrical and plumbing, you can't put a price on that. And I'm hopeful that we here with Born Here, Built Here can bring this stuff to light. We can encourage people. I look at myself in a mirror and I know how to do a lot of stuff. It's not because I'm somebody special. I've got 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 head, 2 hands, 2 legs. I'm not overly intelligent, but I'm not afraid to tackle something. And I think that's probably something that my dad instilled on me years ago. And people might think, well, this is kind of funny. It goes back to a story that a family member went to milk cows and he came home. He was milking cows for a guy and he came home and he couldn't do it. He said, I can't do it. When my dad looked at me and said, you can do it, right, Dan? Another man did it. And that's so true. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. I can do it. So what I hope this podcast brings to you is stories of stuff that we've accomplished, failures that we've felt and we've dealt with. But once again, I hope to be able to promote the trades and just show people what the value that the trades are in our society. I live in Michigan. I was born here in Michigan. I've been involved in the trades for over 40 years now. I'm a married man. I've got 5 grown children, all of them married, so I've got 5 in-laws who I love dearly. I've got 10 grandchildren, and we just found out we've got an 11th on the way. And what I really appreciate about the grandkids is I laugh and joke and I say they're still pretty stupid because they think Papa's pretty special. I can con over them, and we get to do a lot of fun things that Grandma doesn't necessarily like or their moms, but I'm Papa. I get away with a lot. Many years ago, and sometimes I hate to admit how long I've been in the trades, but I received my high school diploma, and the very next day, I was involved in a project, or I got hired on in a project in Midland, Michigan. It was racquetball courts, and I started my construction trade career, I should say, and that's been over 40 years ago. I started as a laborer, and then I was trained as a commercial carpenter / lather, and it's been a very, very interesting and good ride. Went into business for myself over 30 years ago as a acoustical contractor, and have really enjoyed what we've been able to accomplish, and looking for a very good future. Right now in my career, you'd hate to say that I can see the sun setting the future, but I've got sons that are involved in the trades with me. We're still actively bidding work. There's a huge demand out there. I'm quite surprised at the loss of tradesmen and tradeswomen out there, but it has allowed us to increase pricing, and the future looks extremely bright. I am hopeful with our podcast here we can encourage young men and young women to get involved in the trades and just explain to them what this offers, not only from a personal standpoint, but a business standpoint, and what they can do for their families, and how they can somewhat guarantee making of money in the future to provide for their families and themselves. My core values are, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in a hereafter. I believe in eternal life. That can, in today's world, that can seem kind of hokey, and people don't want to talk about it. But I've looked at this, and I believe that there has to be a deity, there has to be a supreme being that created all this beauty that we have out there. Morally, I'd like to think that I walk uprightly. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. My dad taught me that a man is only as good as his word, and I hold that value very, very dear, that when you make a deal with another man or a woman, you stick to your word. Even if it's going to cost you in the long run, if you made a deal, you're bound by it, and you better hold it up. What inspired me to pursue a career in the trades, I think just as an 18-year-old getting out of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and everybody's looking for a job, I would hope, and I think people were more concerned with jobs in past history as in comparison to what they are now. But I was just looking for a job, and I had a couple guys that I knew that were, I guess they're 13 to 15 years older than me. They knew I was raised on a farm. I do know how to work extremely hard, and they had saw that, and they asked me if I wanted a job. I went on the job site the day after I graduated from high school. To say I fell in love with construction at that time would not be true. I found it to be very hard work. It was hot out. It's springtime, early summer. The heat was miserable. But after a few years, I realized I was pretty good at what I was doing in the trades. And I just continued on and made a career of it. When I was at 20, I think it was 29 years old, I was actually running 3 jobs, commercial construction jobs, in a new project in Bay City, Michigan. They were doing a mall, and there was 3 projects going there. I was the foreman on site, and I always wanted to do better, what I saw as better for myself and my family, to provide a better way of life. And I started contemplating the fact that maybe I could go in business for myself. So what I did is I actually conned the superintendents on the job that I was working for. I conned them out of the numbers on what the company that I was working for at that time was charging. I was receiving all the materials. I was the guy that was signing for the materials, and I had kept track of labor on the project. I combined what I knew as far as materials, priced that out, along with the how many hours were on the job, and it became very apparent to me that there was some real good money to be made in the construction industry. So I would work all day long running these jobs, these 3 jobs for this company that at that time I was working for. And then in the evening, I was moonlighting, doing jobs actually on the same site, but down the corridor in the mall. And, I gave them a bid, and it did take me some time to learn how to read blueprints, how to put the proper numbers on it, getting involved with insurance men. Everybody knows the evils of workman's comp and how that worked. And been in business, like I said, been in business for over 30 years. Started out somewhat slow, build a name for ourselves in this area here, and we definitely do not lack for work, and we found it to be a very, very, very rewarding career. And then in addition to that, I've always tried to treat people good, but I look back on my career, and there's been instances where maybe I could have handled situations with men and women, for that matter, a little bit better. Because when you lose really good people, it puts you at a deficit, and the saying goes, you don't know how good somebody is until you lose them, and that's so, so true. And I would encourage everybody out there, if you're going into business, take care of your key people. And if you're working for somebody, work hard enough so you can become the key person for your employer. I think experience gives anybody credibility, not just myself, but if you're out there and you've been plowing snow for 10 years, you're a whole lot better off in knowing how to plow snow than somebody that hasn't done it before. Or if you are a manager of a store, you have more experience than the average Joe Blow out there. Yes, I think that the 40 plus years that I have in the construction industry gives me at least a sliver of credibility. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. But when we're on the jobs, I mean, just the education that you get from being on the jobs, and you're rubbing shoulders with guys that are running the projects, you're rubbing shoulders with iron workers, masons, drywallers, painters, HVAC guys, and if you ever have a question, just like electrical, how do I wire a three-way switch? Guys in the trades are more than likely and glad to show you exactly tips and pointers, and that's another thing I think we'll be able to bring you on this podcast is pointers on how to do stuff. My experience on construction has allowed me to delve into the world of tools and figure out how to make tools that much more efficient. In the spring of 2019, I was actually driving down the road checking commercial construction jobs, and I had a hammer in my hand. And I don't know, a lot of times I flip stuff around in my hands, whether it's a pencil, a jackknife, a full closed jackknife, of course, I don't want to cut myself. But I had a hammer in my hand, and I was looking at it, and the good Lord put this idea in my head that you could make a hammer into a squaring system. Well, it kind of went from there. I didn't understand how you would go about developing something like this, but just through coincidence, Lord blessing, and so on, I was able to hook up with engineering firms, local engineering firms. I walked in there, and I can just imagine what those guys thought. When I walk in there, a commercial carpenter, and I said, I think I want to make a square out of a hammer. But they were nice and they were cordial, and we went down the path together, and lo and behold, in the fall of 2019, we were able to take a hickory-handled hammer with a steel head to the Made in America show in Indianapolis, Indiana. Don Buckner is the guy that had put the show on, and we won the Invention of the Year. And that we just went from there. We went from a steel-headed hammer with a hickory handle to a polyfiberglass-handled hammer with steel heads, and then we developed titanium heads that go on either our hickory handles or our poly-handled hammers. And then we dove off in with the big boys, and we went to a full-frame titanium hammer, best hammer in the market, and we've continued to develop our hammers, and we have the only hammer on the market which has squaring features, a wrench in the end, distinctive lengths and widths of the hammer that you can use for laying out. And we've got more products coming. We're so excited. There's nothing out there, from my perspective, everything out there can be improved. There's nothing out there that's perfect. And we're traveling down that road. We're looking at tools that with just little tweaks, we can make them that much more efficient. I believe when you can put more than one function in a tool, you're better off. You're going to save time. In the savings of time, you make more money. We started in the hammer industry, and as maybe some of you know, we've got the only hammer that has squaring features, a wrench in the end, and so on. But we've looked at other tools. We've got what's commonly known as a cat's paw. We've got it's our boss paw. It's got 4 points of pull versus 2 points of pull that the competition would offer. And keeping in mind with all of our tools, and I really want to hone in on this right here, everything is American made. The people that I've met along the way, and you never know where they're at. You know, I ask people, hey, who do you know that does this or that? And lo and behold, it might be within just a few miles of us. We may have to go 100 miles. And primarily, all of our partners in the manufacturing of our tools are in Michigan primarily. But great friendships, and found that Americans can do it as good or better than what the foreigners can do it. And we have much more close proximity. So when things go bad, which they do, we're able to drive there and go over issue, and they can take care of it. So we've got our boss paw. We've also looked at mixing paddles that we do have out there. We've got utility knives. We've got caps that go on our hammers. We're going down the road and things that I've contemplated, and I think relatively seriously, is we're going to be bringing out can't call them speed squares, a quick square system. We're looking at jackknives. We're looking at axes and hatchets. These are all things that just fit into what we've got right now, and we know that we can make a difference in these products. And as I said, once again, and a big difference, and something, again, that we're most proud of, is we're making all this here in the States, the United States of America. The importance of time cannot be underestimated. First of all, I don't like to admit this. I guess I do. I'm 63 years old. I blinked when I was 20, and I'm 63. Time is everything. When we come down to bidding a project, you bid a project by seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years. It starts with seconds. If you can shave off just a second here and a second there, bottom line, money-wise, you're better off. But if you're working on your own, the most important time that you've got is not time on the job. We all have to make money, is to shave time so you can do the things that you love or be with the people that you love. The quicker you can get home from that job, you've done it right, you shaved off, maybe it's only 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes that you could be at your boy's baseball game, your daughter's volleyball game. You could be with the wife. You could be in the yard. You could be doing something. So savings of time is important to everybody. Would you rather $1 million or an extra 5 years on this earth? It's all about time. Everything's about time. Oh, when I'm off the job, first and foremost, my family means everything to me. Do we have our issues? Absolutely. There's 20-some of us here. I mean, like I said, in the past, I've got 5 kids, 5 in-laws, 10 grandkids, and a wife. So there can be moments of friction. But just like a couple of weeks ago, I was able, because I had some time, I was able to take my grandsons to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's 4 hours away. We got a F-250 Ford, greatest truck there is, F-250 Ford truck box full of organic apples. We brought it home, and everybody was here. All the family members were here, less a daughter-in-law and 2 little babies, and they weren't feeling well, and we made 100 gallons of cider. So I like spending family time. I love the outdoors. I like to go fishing. I like to go hunting. We've got a small agricultural operation. You know, some people might find this funny, but it's pretty enjoyable just going out in the pasture and watching the cows eat grass. Just walk around, and it's soothing. So we live in the woods. We have a lot of fun shooting guns and shooting our bow and arrows, but that's just a little glimpse of what I like to do when I've saved some time where I do end up being able to go out and do what I want to do. Efficiency is key out there. And with efficiency, whether you're an individual trying to save time, with the efficiency, you get more time to yourself. If you're an owner with efficiency, that you're able to purchase tools for the men, or see them using good, innovative tools, they make more money for you and your company. So once again, in saving time, you're able to do things that you can enjoy that mean a whole lot more than going on the jobs and working. Hey guys, just want to thank you for joining in today and listening to the Born Here, Built Here podcast. Be sure to tune in the next time, and we're going to celebrate the trades and the craftsmen that are out there. Not enough has been said in regards to how these people are actually our heroes in our society. These tradesmen help keep America thriving. So I'm Dan Raymond, and may God bless you and your family and all your endeavors. And remember, the most important things in life on this earth are our families. So make sure we take care of them. Don't forget to subscribe to our Boss Tool YouTube channel for exclusive behind-the-scenes content, extended interviews, product breakdowns, and more. Follow us on Instagram at Boss Hammer Co. for daily inspiration, sneak peeks of upcoming episodes, and all things Boss Tool Company. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok. To shop Boss Tools and for more resources, visit our website at bosshammerco.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with your friends and tag us on social media. You have any questions or topics you want us to cover, drop us an email or comment on our YouTube channel or our Instagram page. And if you yourself or you've got somebody in mind that would make a good guest on our Born Here, Built Here podcast, I'd love for you to get a hold of us. You can check us out on our email or comment on our YouTube channel or Instagram page. Always looking for good guests that got good insight, got a success story, or maybe have even rebounded from failures or things in life that maybe a bad hand that's been dealt to you. So if you think it's you or you got somebody in mind, get a hold of us, please.